Him play well. Any tournament he plays in, everybody seems to cheer Shellzz on because they want to see him back at his best. It was 2 years ago in Berlin where he went from being basically zero to hero. He made himself a star in FIFA esports, picked up $80,000, made that cross-console final, which unfortunately did lose to PSG Rocky at the time, but everybody knows him from that event. Kind of F2 Tex like in Barcelona last year. Came out of nowhere. And everybody knows about both of those players now. 2 legs of FIFA in front of us. Our last game of the day here in Berlin. Talk about LevVinken, though. Picked up a move to MKERS, the Italian esports organisation. Got the likes of Principe on their books. Ribeira. 2 Italian professional FIFA players also.
And I imagine when he did leave with Team Bundled and moved on, Lev, he probably had hundreds of offers for him. He's a top player. He was formerly at Ajax. Was a free agent for quite a little bit of time, actually. He was just waiting. He was waiting for a move that suited him, that suited his needs, what he wanted from either an esports organisation or a football club. And Team MKERS simply ticked the boxes for him.
And they ticked the box at the right time as well because he did represent them during that E-Champions League campaign. And those were the points that all added up for him to ensure he does sit in 6th. And even before this tournament, he was guaranteed a FIFA E-World Cup final spot. Shellzz is the one that needs to win this game to keep his tournament alive. His FIFA 19 season. Here's a chance early on for LevVinken. Van der Sar being put to work straight from the word go. Corner to come in. That one's played all the way over. Ruud Hullit's happy to clear that one.
Very, very quick in and around the box there, LevVinken. Quick passing. He faked the cross into the box. He scooped it up and then recycled it back onto the edge. And we're in for a very, very competitive game right now. This is going to be one of the best games that we've seen over the last 2 weeks in Germany here for the playoffs.
Does it affect this match that these two maybe have practiced before against each other?
Well, they warm up against each other quite a lot, these two, on rehearsal day, on warm-up day.
Here's nearly the opening goal of the game from Shellzz.
I heard a cry from the opposite side of the room, and it was Shellzz. He thought he'd scored.
Caught me off guard for a second too.
I think the bigger thing, really, coming into this game is the wait that they've had. They've been waiting 6-7 hours to play this game after that round of 32 matchup. Getting yourself back up for a game when you've been probably quite down low, quite relaxed, and amping yourself back up, that might take a leg. That might take a leg and a half of FIFA.
Because what I've seen right now, the area that Swiss was played in yesterday, the round of 32 games, that's being packed away right now in front of us. There wouldn't have been an opportunity to play practice games. To so-called warm yourself up. Both of these two would have had to watch all the other round of 16 matchups, seen players play really well. Some players knocked out the competition. The heartbreak of a FIFA 19 season being over. Simple as that. Some players' seasons are over.
And you saw earlier with Yago, the game that we were casting, that outcry of emotion, that outpour of emotion after the game was finished, in tears. That's not the first time we've seen it over the last 2 weeks.
Even Zizinho, when he got his place confirmed, he might have got knocked out of the competition earlier on, but he was still waiting and praying that he's done enough to ensure he will be at the FIFA World Cup Grand Final. We're still waiting to find out who will get those final few spots in London, back at the O2 Arena again. It's happening in August. $250,000. Here comes LevVinken now, looking to get his first goal in the game. So quick, in around the box. Skill moves are out, scoop turns are out, heel to heels are out. Everything's out from Lev.
And if you are a Footwiz fan or a Stranger fan, you're wanting a LevVinken win right now. The less players that are battling for those spots to get into the top 16, the better. Lev, he's already guaranteed his spot. He's not going to take someone out of the top 16, but he can stop someone getting in the top 16 in Shellzz.
He really can indeed, and obviously looking at the bracket, the players out the competition, the likes of Pina, yes, he's already in the final anyway, it doesn't really matter too much. We've got some fantastic quarter-final matchups lined up for tomorrow. We're just waiting to see who will be joining Lost in the Waves for the 4th quarter-final. It's waiting to be confirmed. The big games taking place in Berlin tomorrow as part of Championship Sunday. $75,000 up for grabs, plus a chance to still pick up grand final spots for a few players. Looking at those players in the competition that are still waiting, hopefully, to play well tomorrow and ensure they get a final spot. Christian Spiteri, one of them.
Shellzz big moment this year where he got quite a large amount of his points, coming in FUT Champions Cup 6. Getting knocked out to Maestro in the real dying stages in that game.
Also to add as well, FIFA E-Club World Cup, teamed up with Ryan, see from hashtag. Had a run there which was so tight for them two in the 2v2. I remember they had one game, they had so many chances, they needed to win it to progress to the next stage in the tournament, and just unfortunately couldn't go the extra mile.
The referee has indicated
big confidence builder though, the Club World Cup. It took Shellzz into the tournament in London, that last FUT Champions Cup, one of the last big opportunities to earn major points.
Pull it now, last chance of the half. It's going to fall to LevVinken. Maybe the Dutchman himself can score it. Mbappe will ensure that LevVinken takes the lead. That one more pass, the fake shot as well.
It was the extra pass that made the goal. Really, for LevVinken there. We're going to see it back on the replay. Literally on the stroke of half-time. Ruud Gullit just knocked it in two. Kylian Mbappe there. Doesn't matter if it's on his left or his right. Mbappe will be dangerous as he smashed it into the top left corner, and that is going to take us into half-time. Slight advantage to LevVinken, but apart from that, nothing to write home about. At half-time, 2 shots for each player, 1 on target for Shellzz, 2 on target for LevVinken. Both players with 95% passing accuracy after the first 45 minutes, and a slight possession edge to LevVinken, 54% to 46.
It was a goal literally seconds before the referee blew his whistle for the half-time interval. LevVinken, though, you heard a lot of the guys talk about him, about the, he's his character, this funny character. We always talk about it, we always go back to it, but 2 years ago, this was when he started playing FIFA. He was on loan at Sparta Rotterdam, played in the Eredivisie when he was a lot more younger.
Made a name for himself, really.
He did what any player should. Make a name for yourself in your own country, then you go international. We've seen players like Dami do it. Made a name for himself in Poland, went big. Look at Webb Nasri, huge name in Japan, now on the international scale. And now look at this man on your screen, LevVinken. Some of the best Dutch players. Danny Hakkeberg, Koen van Aalden, we saw him in the past. One of the veterans in the scene. Now LevVinken.
Making an argument for the best Dutch player, LevVinken, right now.
He wasn't in the FIFA Nations team. He was so disappointed at that. Next year, if that tournament does run again, I'm sure he'll 100% want to be in that team, representing his country. He's looking for a second now. Ruud Gullit, could he be the man to score it? The Dutchman himself. Just coquettering his way around the defence. He's so quick, so good with his dribbling as well, is Lev.
Yeah, he's really quite a complete player, is LevVinken. The only thing missing, and the only thing standing in his way from winning a championship, has been Nicholas. He gets to the console finals, and Nicholas stands in his way, as he has been the gatekeeper for so many other PS4 players.
There's a chance for Shellzz. Does fall back kindly to Gullit. Takes a big deflection off Van Dijk as well. Surprised we didn't go back for a free kick there. Referee played on. Shot came in. Lucky enough for Shellzz. For LevVinken, I should say. There was someone in the way to block the shot. Such a tight game this is so far. Really contested. We saw the passing accuracy stats at half-time, 95%. Not too many passes being played wrong. Here's Shellzz' chance to try and get himself back in this game. Can he get round Van Dijk? Yes, he can. Shot comes in from R9, but just
snatched. Slightly snatched.
Took the words out of my mouth. Snatched the shot. Timed it yellow. And what an opportunity it was. Ronaldo got around the right-hand side of the fullback of LevVinken. Unfortunately, though, couldn't get the finish that he wanted to ensure he would be back in this game. $10,000 this game is worth. You win this, you're into Sunday, the final 8.
And simply for Shellzz, this is a must-win game to keep any hope of making the FEWC Grand Final in London alive.
Vieira back to pull it now, a drag back, still driving forward.
Great strike.
And nearly an awful mistake from Shellzz.
A little bit risky there. Thankfully it did go out of play for him. You see LevVinken into the suspense right now. We can see both players' perspectives beneath us here. And Shellzz making attacking changes also.
So they're both in a 4-2-3-1 at the moment as well. Shellzz, a player that was known for trying a range of formations. At one point, he was loving the 4-4-2.
Yeah, back in the day, the 4-4-2 was his go-to. However, with how strong the 4-2-3-1 is, unless you're super confident playing a different formation, like Tugri with a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1 second variation, like Dulster is with a 4-1-2-1-2, it's very hard not to play 4-2-3-1, given how balanced and how strong it really is in the game.
You know, we've seen how impressive defensively the formation can be as well. You don't need to take any guesses of who the two CDMs I'm referring to there. Here's a chance for Lev, he's round Van Dijk, Pele! Might not see much of him this tournament, but when he's fresh, we know the stats he has on him to burst on pass. The defenders, as they get slightly more tired in the match, just round Van Dijk. He was able to smash it into the back of the net there to make it 2-0 with what, under 20 minutes left.
Just entered onto the pitch, has Pele. Instant impact from the 99 rated moments. And also Havertz being introduced as well for LevVinken.
Just seeing for Shellzz, Eusebio will come on. Even the goal will be something to take into the second leg. 2-0 down. Not the ideal start in this first leg for Shellzz, especially knowing the tournament that he needs to have here in Berlin. Needs to make it to that final. And to go on and win it as well. 1,800 Global Series ranking points on that final, on being a champion in Berlin. We'll crown that champion tomorrow. Shellzz, lovely fake shot into the shot. One way to reply.
I'll tell you what, a very quick reply from Shellzz from kickoff, coming straight back at LevVinken with Neymar. Timed it green, low driven, slight bit of rising action into the left-hand side of the goal. That lead halved for Shellzz.
Goal for the visitors.
You just saw the difference that Eusebio made there.
Neymar.
How fresh he was on the ball. How quick he was on the ball, just to open up some space, then play it back into Neymar. And as soon as the ball got there, you knew there'd be half a chance. We know that flair side to the game that Shellzz has got. Maybe that goal could have just given a little bit of confidence that he needed to. He's been probably very nervous coming into this one. You said it perfectly. He's been waiting a little while to get into it. Going down 2 goals early, it's probably not going to help you either.
If there's one, you'd say, negative or thing that's held Shellzz back in the past, it will probably be the pressure games, almost. When there's been narratives and big pressure put on him. The grand final, 2017, he came in. He was the player to watch on the PS4. Also, Barcelona last season, he came in, what, 7 back-to-back 40-0s? He was the player to watch on the PS4. He just sets himself such high standards that when he sometimes doesn't meet them, you expect finals, console finals, and he showed that at FUT Champions Cup 6 that he does have the game.
I'm sure Manchester City backing him, choosing to pick him up this year. Gave him a huge confidence boost. One of the biggest football clubs in competitive FIFA. And now he sits 1 goal behind before jumping into that second leg. He's in a perfect position. LevVinken hasn't really put a foot wrong in this first leg. He doesn't show too much emotion either. Doesn't really get too annoyed with himself.
Yeah, very much. It's a very level head, LevVinken, throughout the game. Win, loss or draw.
It just seems pretty fearless. What a ball this is now. Pele looking for a second. He's going to get a second.
I'm very surprised that that's gone in right there. Just burst down the left-hand side.
And just like that, from defence to attack. Took me off surprise, that's for sure. Burst past the defensive line, got down the left-hand side, and I think the only thing that put that into the back of the net was not fantastic goalkeeping, plus the shot was time green, smashed into the back of the net, and Pele, what a super sub he's been.
Even though it was time green, you're still expecting your goalkeeper to save that across him. You see it there. It is powerful, it is strong, and the placement is very, very accurate from Pele. Are we going to see a trickle-down effect now of more Pele's brought on? Because he's been the game changer.
He really has been. 3-1 the score, as the referee does blow for full time in the first leg. And it will be the Dutchman himself, LevVinken, leading 3-1 at this moment in time. And it is really time for Lyrics to have a chat with Shellzz now. Say to him, what can we change? What can we do better? Because he was a bit of a slow starter, Shellzz, in that game. Yeah,
and Lev sort of just controlled the tempo of the game, in all honesty. He did win 3-1 after the first leg. Let's have a look at the goals that did put him into the lead in this first half.
As we said, it was one-way traffic for a lot of this game via LevVinken. This is how he got going. The fake shot originally, just to turn and open up that space for Mbappe, is exactly what he needs to get himself 1 goal up.
Smart finish there, past the goalkeeper from LevVinken. See Shellzz not that happy, going down 1-0, and then LevVinken doubled his lead shortly afterwards. Timed green from Pele, and he was the difference maker in the end. The pace that Pele can provide you off of the bench. We're just getting a fist bump montage.
I'm going to say, maybe they're just showing off the successful fist bump between the two. That was the goal that Shellzz did get back. He needed something. Lyrics was nearly left hanging there as well. Luckily,
got that ball.
Did connect with that one. And this was the goal. 20 more seconds and it could have been game over, Richard. But unfortunately, Lev did get that goal. And Pele, what a super sub he was. 3-1 up after the first leg. Shellzz can laugh. It was such a tight angle. And of course, going into that second leg now, it is all to play for.
And I hope you have been linking your EA and Twitch accounts throughout the stream. Got another drop coming your way. Prime Gold Players Packs. We've got Team of the Seasons. I saw a Team of the Season Werner earlier on today. And also some naughty icons coming your way also. And another reminder to link your Twitch and EA accounts to be eligible for the FIFA Global Series PS4 Playoffs kit.
Need to get that. That's on the to-do list.
Mine's linked.
After the show, I need to connect it, get that shirt, and try and get it on my weekend league to get me going. That is halfway point. Let's not talk about the weekend league. All right,
don't know if the kit's going to get you wins.
Yeah, well, I need something right now, Richard. We're not doing too well. At the halfway point in this game, it is 3-1 to LevVinken, MKERS LevVinken. He really, as I've said, has not put a foot wrong. If he does win this, he'll be going through to a quarter-final up against Lost in the Waves, another player outside of the top 16, a goal-scoring machine, really, Lost in the Waves. Scored so many goals, 59.
And it's such a tough matchup for Shellzz. Matching LevVinken, given how good LevVinken's been this season. I find it very, very interesting how the bracket's been played out, with the fact that for players to get into the top 16, to make a mark on the tournament, the players that they're having to beat, all top 16 already seeded players for the grand final.
I think the only thing you can look at with these playoffs is that there has been some of the top 10 players that were knocked out. Even in Swiss, the likes of Houston didn't make it through. An early start here could be massive for Shellzz. Fantastic block there by Vieira. We're just talking about how the bracket play went down. This is our last round of 16 game. LevVinken from right to left, who does intercept this corner, is leading by 3-1 at the moment. A chance for him to go 5th in the rankings. He's already got himself a final spot in London. Just a chance to play for that seeding now for the groups. Shellzz, though, a win here would move him up to 22nd, and he would need to keep on going through the competition at least to win the final, win the whole thing.
Yeah, final. A top 2 finish is necessary for Shellzz. See Lev cutting through once again.
Mbappe this time. Little scoop. Not successful for him. Only 2 goals behind Shellzz. It's definitely possible.
100%, and good signs early doors as well for Shellzz. You saw that attack. As soon as the game did get underway, creating chances, he looked a lot better on the ball as well in the first 10 minutes. It is early stages, yes, but confidence can play a big factor. If you start a game well, you start a game fresh and strong in that opening 10-15 minutes, if you can rally a goal, 2 goals behind you, make your opponent feel like the game's going away from him.
Here's the chance. Roulette into the finish.
There you go.
It's like watching Shellzz back in Barcelona again. I remember commentating on a very similar finish. A little roulette into the finish. Didn't matter how it went in the end, R9 still the goal scorer, and it's an important goal.
And what I was saying about getting a goal early doors, it doesn't have to be nice. It doesn't have to be a beautiful 20-passing move. Something scrappy. The roulette inside the box. The success rate of that coming off, probably quite low, but he still attempted it. It came off for him. Now, that seed in his mind, this game's mine. It's swinging my way.
It's not a bad time to score either, is it? 14 minutes in. He's only 1 goal behind now. And this is where Lev will really be tested. I think it was a 4-2-2 to kick things off for Shellzz. Ronaldo and Neymar is the out-and-out strikers, and the 2 cams being Havertz and Cristiano Ronaldo. Chance again for Lev. Can he reply? What a block that is from Van Dijk.
The character will be tested right now of these 2.
Played in straight away. Havertz happy to play it back to Ronaldo. No, Shellzz gives it straight back to Lev. Could pay for this one, in fact. Tried to croquetter it round his man, and unfortunately, no luck there. The important thing is for Shellzz, he has got himself a goal. He's back in this game.
I feel like it's a very, very tense match we're watching right now.
Shellzz can get himself another goal. Neymar's making that run. He's picked him out on the right-hand side. Ramos just teased out. Maldini's out of position as well. This could be a chance for him to find that gap, to find that hole. R9, it hits him. Havertz back to R9 again. Timed it green, straight into the hands of David Gea.
Yeah, I thought for a second when that bounced off of Havertz, it was just going to keep on bouncing his way. There's a lot of room behind that back 4, it seems like, for Lev to potentially exploit. You saw the run from his striker in behind there again.
Ronaldo just doing enough there to stick a leg at it. to turn possession back over. Definitely a confidence player is Shellzz. That goal being the confidence booster that he needed. A win here jumps him up 190 more global series ranking points. Not just 75. Double that and 40 more on top. Really will help to start to move these rankings around, and then tomorrow it will mean that we've got a game of 2 players outside the top 16. If
battling,
Shellzz can turn this around. But Lev, we know how good he is in an attacking sense, how quick he is, how good he is at dribbling. With the likes of R9, with the likes of CR7, Neymar. Speaking of Neymar, here he is for Shellzz. Paqueta nearly into trouble. Drag back, scoop turn. Paqueta inside, that's the Shellzz we know and love.
Great goal from Shellzz. Really tight, close control inside the box. Look at Paqueta with the drag back and the scoop turn combo. Simple pass across the 6-yard line. I told you, confidence is massive.
He's always had that flair aspect to his game. When he can start chaining those skill moves together, get those combinations happening, he is a player you do not want to be up against.
A little bit of a no-look finish as well from Vieira.
Vieira's done a few things these last 2 weekends.
A lot of shoulders.
A lot of shoulder touches, no-look finishes. Just waiting for a 30-yard volley now.
Might be waiting a while then.
Well, we're back square. At 3-3. Completely different story in this leg. LevVinken. That 2-goal cushion wiped away. Needs to start looking after the ball better, and for Shellzz, this is where he's thinking to himself, I'm back at 0-0 now. I can keep the ball, I can start working it. I'm not in a panic to go forward and go and score goals and chase a game. And this is why you're seeing him keep the ball. 4-2-2, as I said, he is rocking. 2 CDMs happy just to pick up the ball, move it around. Lev isn't really putting out too many players.
You see the possession very dominant in the favour of the Man City man, but that is a mistake.
If you're going to do that and keep possession, you have to look after it. And that's something that Shellzz didn't do there. He could be in trouble. Danny Da Costa just tracking his runner.
Danny Da Costa to the rescue for Shellzz right there. See Havertz starting for him as a wide cam. He's fell in love with that card early doors.
Added time of just 2 minutes. We saw Lev actually score in the added time of 2 minutes. It's the first time we've seen a bit of emotion out of Lev as well. He's not too happy, and I wouldn't be happy either with that first 45 minutes. The 2-goal cushion just wiped away for him. Technically, he's back at 0-0 again.
Yeah, you see Lyrics there having a chat with his player. Neither side at half-time going to make changes, both just looking what each other are doing in the player ratings.
And if you were, say if we were 2 pros, it's never going to happen. But, you know, we're having practice games and stuff like that. Would you do something different that you haven't done in a practice game when you come up against that person that you've practiced and practiced and practiced against? Or would you just keep it the same?
I'd back myself to win at all times, really.
But I mean a different formation, something different that you
I
haven't done in a practice game.
wouldn't change my game for my opponent. I'd back myself and what I've worked on, that's strong enough to overcome anybody that I play against.
LevVinken from the word go! Might not be a pretty one for Shellzz to concede. It would have been on target at least. We don't know where the ball would have went, but unfortunately the deflection sent that into the back of the net.
Massive slice of luck there for LevVinken. Not sure if it is going in through Maroud Hullet, but it takes a big old touch.
Sergio Ramos.
Off Ramos.
Off his chest into the back of the net.
Was on target, so it is going down as a Maroud Hullet goal. But whether the keeper saves it or not, that's a different question.
You spoke about not changing for your opponent. That's something that Lev doesn't do. Apparently, he sticks in his formation. He won't move out of it either. If someone wants to try and match him up, he'll just stick in it.
And that doesn't surprise me, because he's a very confident
Corner.
Man, not only FIFA player, but sticks to his own guns, goes down his own road. Does LevVinken.
It was a corner wasted by Shellzz. That goal for Lev just was needed for him to spark him back into life. Does lead 4 goals to 3. Just in front by 1 goal. Ronaldo with a fake shot, easily read by Rafa Varane. Last game of the day here, day 2 in Berlin. Waiting for our last quarter-finalist to be named, in which they'll be faced up against the German lost in the waves.
And some of the quarterfinals that we've already got confirmed for tomorrow. Christian Spiteri versus Fafil, so that's going to be an unbelievable clash. Nicholas versus Mo Auber. Tuga versus Ajax Tor. And the winner of this, as you said, Brandon, taking on the outsider, lost in the waves.
And if Shellzz can get a goal back and turn it around, there'll be another outsider in the mix. What a game that will be. A match worth so much more for 2 players outside the top 16. As I said, that was if Shellzz was to break through. At the moment, it will be Lev into that quarter-final game. A chance again for him. Danny Da Costa needed to get something on that. He definitely did, out for a corner, and then into some substitutions now. Gareth Bale is going to be coming on.
Yeah, Bale introduced that. Coming on as a an out-and-out left-back by the looks of it. Giving that attacking flair going forward. Much more attacking threats than a centre-back push to left-back, Gareth Bale.
Also, Mbappe introduced, another attacking player.
Wow.
That literally caught me off guard. It's like the camera didn't want to follow that shot. Kylian Mbappe potentially scoring a winner for LevVinken with just under 30 minutes left. It was time yellow. I had no idea where that shot was going, off the post and in.
60 seconds after the restart came in. I'm very, very intrigued to watch the replay from that, because the way that the camera moved and followed the ball, I'm not sure if it's taken a deflection on the way through.
It was like the crowd didn't even react either in the ground.
Yeah, we're very, very quiet.
It was a peculiar finish out, just flew into the back of the net, posting in. However, you can make all the changes you want, Lev will be saying, but I've just gone 2 goals up, 2 goals to the good, 5 goals to 3 in front. So what's happened here then?
Plays it into Mbappe, and it looks like Ramos went to block the ball. That'll give us a better indication. It's just come off his hand, to be honest. It's brushed off him.
So it's like the hand of God, but in the complete wrong way. Difference is, he's just hit it into his own goal. Posting in, timed it yellow.
One big deflection and one slight deflection. A brushing past Sergio Ramos. He's not had a great day, has the Spaniard.
The job is simple for him. I say it's simple. Of course, it's very difficult, but he just needs to get 2 goals. Looking for that volley into Mbappe. Played it back to Hullet again. Fake shot, Neymar. Needed that! Had to be perfect, had to be timed. Game back on.
Again, Shellzz using the ball, very, very effective. Straight after Lev scored, he opened up a 2-goal lead. Kept hold of the ball from kickoff, did Shellzz. Worked the opportunity into Neymar and just smashed it into that near post. What he's thinking right now, defend. Have to defend the first 3, 4, 5 minutes that Lev has the ball right now. And then maybe go into a 3 at the back, maybe go 3-4-2-1. And just try and snatch a goal.
Oh, this could be worse for Shellzz. Mbappe's round the right side of Danny Da Costa, still in possession. Just don't give away a penalty. Oh, no.
That's harsh.
I think it was the movement of the La Croqueta. Bundled into Van Dijk. Needs to save this penalty. If anything, lucky enough that Van Dijk just stays on the field. Here's the chance, needs to save this one. Will save it!
Shellzz still alive and kicking in Berlin.
He'll be saying, I've pressed nothing there. The La Croqueta just bundled into Van Dijk, had to save that penalty to keep him alive in that tie. And that could be another confidence builder he needed. For a lot of players, if that goes in, mentally, you're thinking, I can't get back in this game.
You're defeated. You're in the ground.
Oh, unbelievable from Ronaldo there, just teasing two defenders. Shellzz does finally get the ball back. Just over 10 minutes to hang on to this for LevVinken. Look at that run that Neymar's going to be making as well. Cristiano Ronaldo, a horrible touch there. Went for a ball roll then. No idea, just had a bit of a heavy touch.
What an ugly touch that was. From Ronaldo out with a skill move.
You don't want Van Dijk in a running race with Cristiano Ronaldo as much as he's going to catch up with him. Done well there, Varane's out of position. There's a chance for Shellzz. Needs to get numbers forward. Time's running out for him. A goal would send him to extra time. 5-4. He trails. He's always won for a big game, Shellzz. A big match moment. A last-minute clutch. Could this be the opportunity that he needs? Mbappe on the right-hand side. Lays it back into Neymar. Is he going to cross it into the box or just play it short? Happy just to work it in. Back to goal. Ronaldo! Oh, it's beautiful from Shellzz! I said it perfectly. He loves a big match moment. And who else to give it to than Cristiano Ronaldo? Dragged back into the finish, posted in. This game might be going to extra time as well.
He works the ball into the box so patiently. And Lev, just a tiny bit overzealous in his defending. You're going to see the replay back there. I think he expected the one more pass. And he went there very manually with his centre half.
It's the only thing I can fault Lev on.
Moved into the gap. Shellzz said, I'll take that space, thank you very much. In off the post.
You can just see him taking a drink there. He's literally shaking Shellzz. That's twice now, Richard, he's come back. Twice he's come back when he's been 2 goals behind. Needs to ensure that if there's going to be another goal, it's him that gets it to build upon it. LevVinken, 10 minutes away from winning. Penalty missed as well.
You see number 4 there. He came out, he expected the one more pass. And Shellzz just took the space that he offered him. Smashed it in.
Can you just imagine if that one came off the post and didn't go in? Shellzz would have been asking questions. 5 minutes left. 10 goals between these two. If you've been watching the stream from start to finish, you've been in for a treat.
You see Lev brought on there. The match winner in the first leg, Pele introduced onto the pitch. Kai Havertz introduced onto the pitch.
I said it, I don't know why Varane was so high on the right-hand side. He's in a right back and he was just bombing on. Got too involved, too heavily invested in that attack. Then there was gaps that appeared. I don't know if Lev's just looking to go into extra time here or...
He's waiting for the last chance of the game.
Have that last chance of the game. He's got 3 minutes as well. Whether that means he'll keep the ball just for 1 more minute. And now he'll maybe start to move forward from left back to right back to centre back. Is he going to take that risk to go forward? Doesn't seem like he wants to. Maybe he'll come forward now. There was an option on the right-hand side with Ronaldo into the midfield. Now he wants to move on forward. Now he might want to look for that cross as well. Look who's in the box. Havertz down this left-hand side. Scoop turn, 2 or 3. And Shellzz just like, thank God I've done enough there to just get this game concluded.
Yeah, you saw the accelerated fake shots there out wide with Havertz. Trying to just get into a space where he could be dangerous with the ball. Extra time needed.
And you're probably thinking, what has happened in this game? There's been 10 goals in it. It's going to extra time. It's going to extra time. The last game of the day, the last round of 16 matchup. A game worth $10,000. And for Shellzz, it's FIFA 19 season to keep on going. Let's have a look at some of the goals from that match. It was an incredible second leg. So good, wasn't it, Richard?
Yeah, you see Shellzz getting straight back into the game here. Early doors roulette. and then just finished past the goalkeeper with the finesse shot there. I think it did get a deflection. This game was full of deflections, full of rebounds, full of deflections.
And this goal here.
This one very, very nice. This might be up there with one of the Adidas plays of the day from Shellzz to get us into a level game at 3 apiece.
That was so good. No-look finish, we say, from Vieira. And look at that passion from him. He knew that that was a nice goal. We were lucky enough to commentate on it as well. We love that one. And then
Lev didn't go quietly.
Lev certainly did not sit back. He went forward and wanted another goal. Here was the goal. Yes, it was a wicked deflection from Ramos. He tried to get in the way and make a block, but unfortunately, that block actually led to him actually putting it into his own net.
Come on!
Very vocal there, Lev. Getting in front, and then he extended the lead to 5 goals to 3. A bullet of a strike from Mbappe. I'm not sure it did get a deflection, you know, on the way through there.
It just caught us off guard completely. As I said, the camera just didn't seem to lock onto the shot. Then this happened. A goal that was needed 66 minutes in because he was 2 goals behind. Then there was a penalty given away.
Yeah, and he had to save it to stay alive, Shellzz, and he did save it. He's probably thinking, I've considered 2 deflection goals. I feel like I need to get back into this game, and that's exactly what he did. You saw Rafael Varane slightly overzealous with the defending from LevVinken. Ronaldo took the space, slotted it home, and look at that reaction. He's got ice in those veins.
I tell you what, we did actually see that celebration from him, but what a celebration. It was a passionate celebration from Shellzz. He always seems to be involved, as I said, in a big clutch moment or a massive match. Look no further. The last round of 16 game. And we're going to extra time. 30 more minutes needed. LevVinken already qualified for the grand final in London. Shellzz still hunting for some success in this tournament. Into Ronaldo!
How has that gone over?
9 times out of 10, you put it into those areas. Cristiano Ronaldo will be putting it at least on target. Opportunity missed.
He did try and time it there.
And he could actually pay for that mistake now. Patient defending from Van Dijk, scooped all the way over. Quite a risky pass to play, and he does get dispossessed again. Here's LevVinken. Lacroqueta chaining them all together. Deflection headed away by Pele. I think Lev's saying, why is he not headed that towards the goal?
Pinball in the box right there.
This is where he's dangerous, Lev, when he gets into these areas now. We know how effective the Lacroqueta is. The scoop turns. He's down the byline. Once again, deflection, and again! It was like a pinball in the box. Lucky enough, Cristiano Ronaldo had the last touch on it.
I can't believe that's ended up in the back of the net there. I thought he tackled him out wide when he tried doing the Lacroqueta down the line. He rode his luck once there, Lev, and then the second chance that he got, for some reason, he's gone with a foot, the goalkeeper, instead of dropping down onto the ball with his hands. Rebounded straight out to Ronaldo, and yet again, what does Shellzz have to do? He's got to scrape and claw his way back into the game in extra time. And we saw how good Lev is at seeing games out, at keeping the ball. We saw it in the first leg between these two. For about 7-8 minutes of the game time, he just knocked it fullback to fullback, getting the CDMs involved, back to the centre half, and ticked that clock down.
And we also see that Lev makes no changes at all when it comes to formations. Still in that 4-2-3-1. This is the 3rd time he's led, though, in this game, Richard. 2 times before, he's conceded goals, and then it's gone back all square. In extra time, can he hang on to this now? Shellzz. He has bounced back twice already. Is it too much to ask of him to do it once again? 2 more minutes plus added time in this first half of extra time. If he can get a goal now, it will be perfect time. And Eusebio turns to his man. R9 with a shot, wicked deflection, and nearly on the volley to Hullet.
I think he wanted to play that through to CR7. That was the run.
There will be
that
a
probably
minimum
had
of 2 minutes.
the best opportunity. Lev did enough defensively.
Just don't concede or give Lev half a chance. As the referee does blow for half-time and extra time. 15 minutes in front of us, Richard. Only one goal between the two.
I tell you what a game to finish off here. Saturday at the playoffs. Tomorrow we're into Super Sunday, into Championship Sunday, where one player will be walking away with 1,800 Global Series ranking points and $75,000. And we will also be finalising the Team PS4 roster, the 16 players going to the O2.
Here we go. 15 minutes for Shellzz to either bounce back and get another goal to maybe take us to a penalty shootout, which I've yet to see here at the playoffs in Berlin. Oh no, he had to commit numbers forward. I think that's Bale in a left back, offering that attacking option, as well as a bit of height in at fullback for him. I expect to see this from Lev, though, to just see out the game, be a bit more mature in the way he's playing. Just twice, he's already thrown away a lead. That's a 2-goal lead each time as well. 10 minutes left. Shellzz is going to have to commit more players forward. He's going to have to go out for this game. He's won the ball back. He might get one chance or two if he's lucky. Neymar now. Into Eusebio. Here's Mbappe on that finesse. Got a deflection out for a corner. Played short again when he looked to just try and scoop it up. He does. Goes all the way over. Punched away by David De Gea. Punched back into danger. No one's forward for Lev.
Look at the pressing.
Press. The Shellzz has to press well. He has pressed well. Here's a chance. Neymar into Ronaldo. Timed it green. A little bit of goalkeeper movement.
I think the pass were just too telegraphed.
Didn't give Ronaldo a good enough angle, in my opinion, to work with. It's one of those situations where you kind of have too much time. That was the chance. You're probably thinking Lev will be home and dry now. Especially if he can score this attack, he will win the ball back now. Cannot panic. This is it. He's done it before, Shellzz. This is your time to try and clutch up once again. LevVinken, can you hold on? Seconds left. $10,000. Seconds away from you. Added time of 2 minutes. Surely that is the tackle that will win him this round of 16 game. It's had everything so far.
It's gone long. Van der Sar boots it.
I think he might have booted out for a throw-in. It's one in the air. Vieira, surely it's done. Yes, it is. LevVinken, congratulations. You will beat